South Sudan, a military court has found 10 soldiers guilty of raping foreign aid workers and murdering a local journalist in 2016. The soldiers have been sentenced to between 7 and 14 years in jail. The court has also ordered the government to pay damages to the victims. 11 soldiers were on trial, but one was set free due to the lack of evidence. The trial began in May last year. It's been widely seen as a test for South Sudan's ability to hold its military to account. Michael Arunga is a South Sudan affairs analyst and joins me now in the studio for some analysis on these developments in South Sudan. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Arunga. Let's begin with today's court proceedings. What kind of a message do you think this process sends out to the rest of the world about South Sudan?
I think this is a good step because there's been lots of violations. Courts are places for justice, especially against the backdrop of those who are hurting. There's been lots of violations of human rights within South Sudan, issues of rape, people being killed, children who have lost their childhood because they have been conscripted into the armies and so forth. So taking this kind of step finally shows that there's justice that is taking place, and I think it restores some confidence, especially for the common South Sudanese who has been violated. It's a good step in the right direction.
There's always been a call for an African solution to African problems. Do you think that these proceedings today fall under that category?
Yes, I think it's a good step, but then there are other aspects of other interests. We've seen different groupings and influences around maybe the court processes. So we just hope that it is not influenced by the other external factors that will be able to guide the process. There needs to be genuine justice. What
would these external factors be that you're referring to?
You know, external factors like interest, ethnic considerations, because, you know, the different leaders have their different standpoints. So this has dictated and been able to guide the different processes in the past. So we're hoping that those who violated actually receive proper indictment in terms of what they are supposed to be focused on.
Let's widen this and talk about the peace process. As we know, South Sudan is going through a teething period with regard to the latest peace deal. Do you think the same approach of African solutions to African problems should be adopted with the peace process as well?
Yeah, as I've mentioned that it's important that they take consideration of, yes, the peace process goes ahead, but then they need to be able to address genuineness in terms of being able to ensure that those who violated, because in the past we've had the leaders come together and not be able to bring out what is as the core. It's important that the court process offer solutions in terms of those who violated being able to be put onto the cross and be able to ensure that the court process actually indicts them.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael Arunga, a South Sudan affairs analyst. Thank you very much for joining us.